Hey guys, Video Psych here. And yep, another shitty thumbnail. What can I say? I could barely even see my eyes through my glasses, but anyway. So, a little while ago, I of course made a video. I got my notes here. And it was a video talking about, people replacing women in general. And, not anybody specifically replacing women, just certain people maybe, but just people that are, haters like that are trying to do stuff like that and are just overall shitty. Now, of course, I mentioned incels at times. I didn't just mention incels, but I, of course, mentioned them because of, a commenter who was saying something that was just a little bit too extreme. Just a little bit too extreme. And by the way, there's a reason why I put the watch before you comment on this video. Is because at the time right after I made that video, there was multiple people in the comment sections saying stuff like I was pandering to a certain kind of group. And here's one of the things here. I got it right here. And here it is. So the commenter says here, well, he says, this person is pandering. And then I just posted, pandering to who? And then he just said, I don't know. He said, I don't know who you're pandering to. He said, I don't know who you're pandering to. And of course, I deleted this because I thought it would have been kind of embarrassing for other people to see it. And then it kind of goes on a little more here. And then I'm just like, yeah, I said here, you didn't even watch the video, did you? And then he said, no. But you're talking about love doll owners replacing women. Normally you're talking about, it says here, normally you're talking about, good things about love doll owners. And it says some people are replacing women or trying to replace women in a title. Some people, not love doll owners. And then this guy, he says, oh, okay, I was just making sure. And then I posted one more message. I just said, yeah, right. But anyway, that's enough of the comments there. It's 3 minutes on here. It's gone on long enough. So anyway, moving on from that. So here's just at least 3 things. I mean, just besides the fact that, incels have been disrespectful towards, people that I care about, like my mother, and, some of the other women that I personally know and care about or are friends with at points. And this actually has happened at a couple of points. I've had a couple of moments with incels who have actually disrespected, women that I care about over the internet and have said very hateful things to them. And, that kind of behavior I just do not agree with. My mother hasn't really done anything wrong, nor do the women I'm friended with have actually done anything wrong. Some of them aren't married. In fact, my cousin here is going to get married in the next week or so with a guy, actually, and she's probably going to be with him for at least a long time, if not forever, but moving on from that. So, and the first reason why I do not respect incels just in general, besides things like that, is because a lot of incels, when I see them typing about stuff just in general, it's like they just think, we just live for sex. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more to me than how much I get laid per week or per day. You know what I mean? And the reason why I understand a number of them are like this is because, they're sex life isn't meeting their, ego. Their lifestyle just isn't meeting their expectations from their ego is what's going on with them. And it's kind of like I've said before, I think an ego is like one of the most pointless survival instincts ever. It seriously is like one of the most pointless survival instincts, especially when it's a toxic ego. But the next reason here is because they are not overcoming their issues. Now, one thing about surviving is overcoming. If you were going to have any chance of doing literally anything in life, you are going to have to overcome your issues. Just like I had to overcome my issues growing up, just like I kind of was trying to live a bit of an oversex life myself when I was younger, and I was a bit hungry for sex. But you know what? Even at the time, at least I actually wanted to have sex. You are having some of these people, they just think they're just having such an issue with overcoming their ego and trying to live this fake lifestyle that doesn't really exist in the real world. And I mean, what else can I say about that? I mean, that's just a ridiculous way to try to live your life. It really is. It's like I've said before, never do anything just because, especially when it comes to something like sex. Sex is something that is supposed to be enjoyable or enjoyed, not something to piss and whine about and get so bent over out of shape over, if you get my point. My words are almost turning around there. So, and the next reason here is they also just don't even seem to do anything besides complain about it. Now, and again, even when I was younger, when I was trying to get laid, at least I went out and actually tried to get laid and actually interacted with women. And I'm not saying this is for all incels, but it looks like there's a fair amount of them that just really need to get the fuck out of their house. I mean, nothing is going to be done by trying to make people feel sorry for you. I mean, just take it from me. I mean, you're just going to have to get out there and try to do something. And I've even had to tell this to my brother a couple of times because, I guess I won't, of course, tell anything too personal about him because that's just too personal. But, sometimes, a couple of the people in my family, we have had a very hard time getting them to do things. And it seems like all they do is sit at the computer or sit at the TV and bitch and whine about what everybody else is doing with their lifestyles or how they're performing in sports or etc. or how good their movie was, like as if they're smarter than the people that they're fans of, or they're better at sports than the people that are actually in the NFL, etc. And I say that to these people, like, when you actually gonna do something, instead of bitch and whine about what other people are doing with their lives, which is really none of your damn business anyway. I mean, for one, if somebody doesn't want to have sex with you, that's their right. And I've stated this in that older video. If somebody doesn't want to have sex with you, that is their rights, and that is none of your business. Now, if they try to rub it in your nose and try to shame you or cuck you, then yeah, they're the one with the issue is actually what's going on. Now, that person has an issue. But if, somebody tries to, reject you in a nice way or a nice manner and then tries to move on, but then in your mind, you aren't moving on because you're like, oh my God, is there something wrong with me? Or, hey, this person isn't going out with me even though I'm a great guy. Well, The thing is, it doesn't matter if you are a great person or not. If somebody is either not attracted to you or has other reasons for not being with you or having sex with you, they have that right. Just bottom line, it is none of your business what they're doing with their sex lives or lives in general. Period. And, some people might have thought when I was making that video that I was a hater towards incels. I'm not a hater towards incels. Now, I don't respect them, but I'm not a hater towards incels. In fact, in some ways, I actually do feel sorry for them. You know why? Because they have been misled. The thing about incels is that they have been misled is the issue. And now this could have been from high school or something they saw on TV, or on a YouTube video or something that somebody said on Reddit. I mean, who knows? Some site somewhere at some point in their life, they have been misled to think that if they aren't having this much sex before they get to the age of 18 or a certain age or whatever, then something is wrong with them. Now, of course, I'm here to tell you there's probably not anything actually wrong with you just because of how much sex you're having. I mean, shit, I actually didn't even officially lose my virginity until I was like 25. But, I mean, who gives a crap about when I lost my virginity? And the thing is, sometimes people think they've had sex even though they've never actually had sex before. I mean, for instance, somebody might, let's say, get a blowjob, and then they think, oh, because I had a blowjob, I had sex. Well, that doesn't really mean that you had sex. I mean, even I had a blowjob when I was 17 years old, but that doesn't mean that I got laid when I was 17 because I had a blowjob, or because I kissed a girl, or made out with a girl, or because I got a hand job. Those things do not mean that you've been laid, okay? And that's something that a lot of younger adults don't, I think, really understand. You know what I mean? Is what is actually sex? And, when they get older, maybe they might learn, but until they get through that period of, young adulthood, they don't learn sometimes, it seems. But there's a good thing. Because, back when I first heard about that kid, Elliot Rodger, and some of the stuff that he was talking about, man, let me tell you, I wish I could have said something to the kid before he did something like that and killed those people and, all the other shit that he was doing at the time and was thinking. He was also saying shit like he's going to get back at everybody for rejecting him and everything. And I gotta say, man, I wish I could have talked to the kid. I really do wish I could have talked to that kid. But at the same time, I also did learn that the kid also had ASD, which is a form of autism, which is kind of like, well, being a psycho, basically. And he also was a narcissist. So you could also just say that the kid was basically a lost cause by the time he was born. So there's pretty much just no talking to somebody like that when they have a ASD and they're also a narcissist. Now, of course, I'm not saying, I'm a professional helper that's trying to help incels, because I'm not necessarily a professional or a psychologist or anything like that. Heck, I mean, I'm a smart person, but these types of issues, I can't really help with. And that's the thing. You can't always just expect, somebody else to do something for you, is the thing. You have to find and seek help from the right people. And of course, when I say the right people, I mean, try to actually look for the right people that are willing to help you and are actually decent to good people. Now, of course, there are cases when you might get help from somebody that is really shitty, but what can I say? I can't change humanity. But another thing is that, some people might feel that they can't do something about it, that it's too late. Well, the thing is, while Elliot Rodger might not be here anymore because of the stupid shit that he did, you are still here. And that also means that since you are still alive, you can do something about it. As long as you have, life in your body on this planet, you have the time to do something. Now, the number one thing that you can do if you actually are like the people that I'm talking about is get help. Let go of your ego and get help. And again, I'm only telling you this because I'm trying to tell you something. I'm not a hater. I might not respect you, but I'm telling you how it is. The things that you worry and bitch about on the internet all the time is complete bullshit, and you guys need to get help. You do not know how to date women. You do not know how to get laid. And you do not know how to overcome. And those are things that you need to learn in order to move on. And in order to do that, you need to try new things. And again, just because you think you're a good person doesn't mean you're going to get anything out of life. It didn't work out for me either. Now, of course, with that being said, I will end this video. And I hope that you actually watched this video before posting in comments. Because it's like I said, it's not like I hate you. But, the things that you guys are talking about are just ridiculous. But anyway. But after you do watch this video, of course, post your comments however you like. If there's anything I see negative, like I'm pandering, I am going to delete it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.